not really showing up as well. That being said, though, that's in the past. In the here and now, forZe will be starting on the T side of their pick of Inferno. And if we're being completely honest here, Blair, in the past, this was a safe haven. This was a bastion of hope for Big. They are so accomplished on this map. And Keto with his USP rattles a couple skulls.
But falling back towards graveyards and waiting for backup to arrive. Now, smoke has been deployed. It's a nice gush onto his head. Down to 9 HP, but the kill not quite confirmed. But here's a problem for the T's, Vince. All the CTs, they have arrived.
They most certainly have. Downside, though, with the post plant is there is no kit in play, but Kenzie is going to keep the dream alive. Headshot passed and delivered. Zorti now. The Star Orb has to try and make it work with a Glock, and he's put that sidearm to use. 3 quick-fire frags. Suddenly down to just Gade. And Zorti with a chance to pull out the miracle play. Glock is rattling another head, and Zorti clutches out.
He was so quiet yesterday, Vince. He was so quiet yesterday compared to the rest of his teammates. But today, he has indeed arrived with a bang. The Glock tapping away. Perfectly played. Gade knew exactly where he was. Unreliability of all the players they have here. We know how good Gade can be. We know how good Susan can be with the AWP. And all these plays, Keto especially as well. But the fact that sometimes they just don't seem to wake up is problematic. Susan finds one, but now he's been pincered in towards the A-bomb side. Keto's there to help him out as well. Susan scoped in towards short. There is still the possibility of the lure coming in, or rather the flank coming in from Shalfie. Flashbang's good. Keto finds Shalfie though, and now they come charging on in. Jerry finds Keto. Susan trapped in the corner like a rat, and Jerry with a triple kill out of nowhere. And Tapson left low now in a 1v3.
That grenade has damage written all over it, and Jerry, who was low, has now been pierced for the last time in the round. Tapson keeping this round alive just by a glimmer of hope with that kit, but he gets spammed up through the smoke. And forZe off to a cracking 4-0 lead. The ordnance has been put into position. Now Searson joined alongside Tizian will be trying to close the gap. Although they don't have any kits, they're up here quickly. If they can get these kills in the next few moments, it's going to be fine. Kenzie, who was Molotov'd out of positions, now been fragged down from Searson, and it's looking good for Big. One of the worst buys they've had. Could prove to be costly, but Norvi is putting it down. He's got a Glock, burst fire in, and although he doesn't get the kill, has he bought up enough time to deny the defusal? I don't think so. Searson has this in the back.
Yeah, he's got it. But that was so well done by Norway to keep it competitive. But love it. The fact they haven't rotated. Perfectly timed shot from Searson. Finds Kenzie. And a hit is going to be coming on in. Tizian holding the line. He's been spotted. And here comes backup as well. Tizian has a lot of work to do, but Zorte finds him. They're aware of the AWP nearby, and that is going to be Searson found out. And Keto, he's going to strike from the pit. He finds one. He knows where the bomb's getting planted, but the box rather is going to provide some cover for Jerry. Keto, right now the game is to stay alive for as long as possible and await for the cavalry to arrive in the form of Gade.
Gade's going to need to open up. Going to need to start fragging out. There's one. Again, lack of kit, though, could be a problem. Jerry splatters Gade. 6 frags to his name already. 3 in this round. Won't be required to land a 4th because Shalvi is there to lend his IGL a helping hand.
What about the quality?
Try it yourself, gringo.
Okay. It's great. We take it all.
Now that is pretty enough.
Skin Club. The lowest prices.
Just dissecting this defense from Big, and you can see how Big aren't super comfortable on this map. Keto from the hay bales, great flashbangs from his teammates. He needs to find more. He gets the dink, not quite the kill, but Tapson's there to pick up the pieces. Now it's Zorte, 1 versus 3. He finds one. He's got the bomb. The 2 CTs very close by. What's Zorte going to do here?
Big's positions now. They've locked it down. They know he's not able to retreat across to the B side of the map. They're in great post-plant positions, or just to swap the plant in the first place. So he's kind of maybe overthought this. He's going to get distracted by the player over on Arches, which is Gade, and Searson finishes him off.
But if they're not able to find Searson early on, they might be forced to go back towards A. But 1 flash is all they need. Searson falling back to a safer angle. And if he finds one, it could be big. Gate and Sirson. Sirson finding the wallbang under Zorti. Now the 4v3 as he continues to be pressured.
Yeah, this is where all that utility damage that's done so much work could catch up with forZe. Another nice frag for CS, and they've been so slow, though. They've just been stalled and stymied away from this B site. Shalvi up on the boxes to try and force the plant down, but Keto denies that. And Kenzie was hoping for the long con, and instead, he'll splatter the brains of Tizian. But he will not stop where this round is coming down. Big get their 5th, another 2 casualties. But forZe, again, with a player that survives after time on low economy, does have the AK, though. And this is the problem as well. You absolutely...
There is another player that is taps and waiting towards CD spawn as well, but now only 2 players on the B side. Jerry waiting in the smoke. Are they going to go for the contact play? That's the question. Molotov is going to be deployed. Flash is going to rain Gate. He needs to find one, which he will, and it's a great transfer from Gate to find 2. Sirson as well, not able to quite land a flick though, and Gate needs to stay alive. He needs to hold on for as long as possible, tucked into the corner. The bullet whizzing past him, and then finally he will run out of the smoke, expecting Shalfi be duped, Norby rather, to be alone, but there was Zorti lying in wait. Nate lobbed in, is going to deal quite a bit of damage, and he will fall. And now it's all on Zorti, off in his hands in a 1v3.
Smoke is cleared, gets the freebie, no counteractive frag, and Zorti could do this. He's been winged, though. He had his chance.
Just a couple of bullets to the torso, to the groin, and he's done for. Keto and Tizian going to be tested now.
Flash through, Tizian playing counter flash. It's a 1-for-1, 2-for-2 trade now. There's Keto springs in twice. Searson, who was on the balcony, 1 frag can back that incendiary out, forces Norvi to push him, and Norvi obliged. It's such an awkward, scrappy fight, but Norvi comes out ahead. The downside is, though, that Zorti, his teammates, are already fallen to the wayside, and Tapson will put a bullet in the brain of Norvi.
I gotta give a shout out to Sirson as well. He has been incredible, considering how slow a start they had to the game, to the map. He's 15-7 right now. Taps needs to be careful here. He's gonna be caught off guard, but a flashbang helps him out. Not able to find a single kill, but Gate is able to find one. And rotation needs to come in, but Gate, he's doing it all by his lonesome. 3 kills for him, 4 for Gate. 1 remains. It's all in Kenzie, but Vince, he's on the wrong side of the map. In not just a teammate, but the setup you had, just brilliant stuff. And there's no way Kenzie cracks this. I love this kid. He's been incredible yesterday, but no way he cracks a defense as big. They get to a 3-round lead as we head to the second half. But before that, we go to a break. As Sirson's going to lead the charge. It's going to be an early execute coming on in. It looks like it's going to be a wraparound. No? Oh, it's going to burst into the smoke, aren't they? Flashbang to pop out. 3 Glocks. They spot Kenzie and Zorti. Kenzie unable to find a single kill, Vince. It was imperative that at the very least he finds one or at least stays alive. But Big, they knew exactly what they wanted to do.
Catastrophe falls upon forZe, and they won't be picking up both pistols. Pearson, in the meanwhile, though, he wants to go looking, and he will be punished for that over-aggression. Understandable. He's probably just got confidence oozing through him at this stage. 3rd player also making a rotation in. That's going to be Shalfi. So he spots the players. Smoke down. HE behind it. Damage inflicted. Boost up from Shalfi, and Norvi is working so very well. And Norvi decides to actually change his tune. Moving to the oranges instead. Does get found out by Gade. And that could very well yield a bomb plant. Shalvi had the right idea, just slightly off on the deagle shots. And now post plant comes into fruition. Gade understands that Banana could very well be a contest that he needs to win, but he comes out second best. Pearson trying to ebb and dance through the smoke as they push him. There's one, and a second frag goes his way. 14 bullets left in the magazine, just needs to connect one of them to the head of Kenzie, and this round will be over. But Kenzie's deagle will yield the final frag, and he should have enough time for the defuse on top of it. forZe get both pistols. Oh, pardon me, not both pistols. They get the forced buy wars going in their way, and they get a good start to both halves.
Making it no secret where they're going to be coming in from, but they need to make haste, because look at the flank coming in the form of Kenzie.
The time is so low, and now Kenzie can try and divide and conquer, but Keto and Gade string together a couple of kills. 8 seconds to go, and Norby just needs to deny this bomb plant's going to be over. 2 frags come in, but post plant also alongside it, down to a 1-on-1. It's the Dane against the Russian, and Zorti with a superior HP and weapon. that Gade can play position. Post plant into effect. Zorti's just going to stick this one. Pros don't fake Gade. Pros don't fake, and neither does Zorti as he sticks it in and robs it away from Big.
Jerry, the veteran, the IGL, alongside his young prodigy. Norway gonna have to shut this one down. They haven't rotated yet. Jerry needs to get the first kill. Yes, he will indeed. Tizian with the trade. No. Gade finally finds him, and now Norway. They don't check, they don't know, but he's gonna spam blindly through the smoke, and he finds him. There's no time. He's won the round single-handedly, and once more, Big are gonna be left reeling and so very annoyed.
Committed to this because of a lack of mid control. For all they know, they're being flanked. Hence, the green light has been rung out. Tizian sprays down onto Jerry with a pre-fire, anticipating this boost would come into play. And Novi, who's normally at the back of the site, has foregone that position to go into ruins instead. So this will be bare minimum a post plant. And the fact there's only a flash and a smoke left means that Novi needs to have impact from the garden. If he can get a kill or two, this is their way back in. But Searson is closing the door on the oncoming Russians. And Tizian will follow suit. forZe's economy does not justify throwing these weapons away.
I won't lie though, when they said they're gonna pick up Gade, I was like, wait, this is Danish. Are they gonna go back to speaking English again? Because that didn't really pan out when they had.
But it's all what can Novi do. Additionally, he's in shadow. He's basically being baited by his teammates at this stage for the cross. They're walking in, they're getting information, but it sells a false narrative. Here comes Novi. One headshot springs into action, nearly sprays in for two, but he's weakened a couple of players. Tapson is doing his best to bodyguard the bomb carrier, but he will go down where he stands alongside his teammate. Gade is going to try and remedy the situation. There's only 15 seconds left. They can't afford to retreat back in, but Gade through the smoke punctures the head of Kenzie. 10 seconds to play. Tizian sprays in, and Big can breathe a sigh of relief because that nearly went so wrong.
The opening pick, the massive one, especially against Norway, but a good little angle being held by Kenzie to find Gade. And Gade has been so instrumental for his team. Keto walking on up. Is he going to be... She's going to check Jerry. No, he's not. Jerry able to get the kill, but right now he's alone and taps and just runs around the corner. And now they know both the B defenders have been taken down. And even though they're getting corralled into the B bomb site, Thurston is going to find Zorte. I don't even know how he saw him on top of the smoke, but he finds him. Tapson's pushed in deep unless Kenzie gets this kill, which he will. Tucked in underneath of the crosshair and a double for him. And it's all on Thurston once more. The 1v2 with the AWP, but the bomb at least is still ticking away.
One player on the server, you want this position, it's him, but he gets blindsided by Kenzie.
What a round.
They could pull the plug. They're deciding not to, though. Smoking off the bracket. Zorti's going to be stuck on the wrong side of that. He has to come back out into the open, but this leaves him susceptible to being flashbanged out. There's only one flash remaining, but it detonates in his face. But the bomb's been dropped down. Kenzie continues to be a real pain in the backside of Big, but he's now been dealt with. Norvi, quick flank through on short side, is joined by teammates flashing their way over. Molly tossed in. Norvi bypassing the first player. Lands a headshot onto Tizian, but that's not going to be good enough. Burning Gade alive. And Shalvi, last man standing, but he far outweighs his two opponents in terms of HP. But they both have rifles, AK and Galil. Shalvi, unconfirmed damage, is trying to play a pixel to take the heads off of these two remaining stragglers. Tizian at 9 HP, trying to play the time as well, and Shalvi does not have a kit. There is one on the site, but all this time is being wasted. Even if Shalvi picks up this frag, I don't think there's enough time now. They've done enough. Big take a 15th round.
Terrorists win.
Second scout is, speaking of that, scout is connected onto Shalvi, drops down to 29 HP, but Kenzie puts his to use. Takes the head clean off of Tizian, and Keto's picking up the pace. He's not slowing down, he's rushing straight into the site where Jerry's waiting with that MP9, and although a flash comes in, it's too little too late. Jerry's going to be called upon again to go above and beyond. Secondary flash connects, but hits the T's just as much as it does Jerry, and he can hold his resolve as he goes in for more. forZe hero plays are keeping them in this map just about, as Jerry goes in for a third. Kenzie's been phenomenal so far, though. From this position, he's been playing pit so well. Shalvi, right idea, just a bit too premature, taking down both frags. That's the bomb as well. It's looking like we're headed to OT. It's looking very good for OT as Searson's the last player alive. It will be overtime. We're going to cut to a quick break, and when you join us, we'll find out who picks up map 1. I feel like can maybe pincer in for a kill or two. Good counter utility tossed in as well, though, but they're starting to cordon off the areas, and now they'd be punching it in. Kenzie with one. Zorti has alleviated the pressure away from his teammates. Shalvi takes down over at Arches, and it just falls into place. It was looking dire for forZe, but they still come out and somehow win it. This does mean, though, that if Big decide and elect to go onto the A side of the map, Zorti is going to have to go above and beyond the line of duty, and he will answer that call. First frag down onto Tabs and can turn his attention onto the library side. He sees that grenade come out, knows a player in there, but Searson dancing around the side of Boiler. Burns forZe onto A, brands them, and brandishes a golden opportunity to make sure this isn't a clean sweep. But Jerry and Norvi still in the fight. Tizian from Graveyard gets flashed, barely affects him, and there's the spray. Big will not allow the clean sweep to come into fruition.
The main line of defense for the big side with the AWP, and look at Zorte being very aggressive, and Susan will fall. Zorte looking for the second, and they're fighting fire with fire, and Zorte blinded still finds Tapson, and that's two bodies littering the entrance of Banana, and they continue to push on ahead. Gate now the sole defender, and they're gonna keep harassing him. He's still holding the line though, dodging the nades, backup arriving, but that means only one defender towards A. If they want to head towards A, it's only Gade there to defend, and it's only Keto there to defend, and Gade taking matters into his own hands. He's not going to check the corner, is he? He won't, and that's got to be Jerry finding the third for his team, and Big are falling apart.
It's just being devastated and crushed. Zorti getting 2 kills. Second one fully flashed, and Tizian now lives by that mantra himself. May not even live to tell the tale, depending on how this duel comes down. And Shalvi will be in for the peak. Tagged down heavily. Keto's going to charge him. Once that AK-47 will take down the frag. But of course, we're in OT. There's no reason not to charge Keto into the grave. And forZe now have 2 map points.
I do wonder if Tapson's going to be aggressive here. I like what the CDs are doing towards Banana, but they're not really aggressing with it. And Keto is getting forced. He needs to be careful. Doesn't want to get caught out with his nade in his hands. And indeed, he will. He gets a dink onto Kenzie, but not quite a kill. And that's the bomb pushing into towards CT. Gade. He can drop them both. They might not be expecting this. And Gade getting hunted down. Doesn't know how many players there are. There's one. He should know where Kenzie is. He gets a second kill. That's the bomb down. That's a massive mistake being made by forZe. And if I'm Big, there's no need to push the matter. There's no need to aggress further, but they will. And look at Tizian's position. His push into apartments. So Jerry finds Searson, but they still need to retrieve the C4.
Such a mess, a scrappy round here. Although Gade is low, he has a great angle with the AK-47. That Molotov won't be fully spreading towards him. It actually cordons off the arch push. It actually does more harm than good towards the T's. Now Zorti has to come around the corner and fling in. 2 players and 2 separate avenues of aggression. And Gade goes in and removes the head. Jerry stuck in library. He's made noise. They know he's here, but they're not sure about Norvi. They're not sure about this flanking component. And now Norvi's shown his hand. 18 seconds to play with. They need to pick up the bomb and make a decision. forZe, have they left themselves enough time? This is going to be cutting it so very close, but Norvi is still fragging out, and he claims the round and the map for forZe.
I don't know how they won that round. I genuinely have no idea how forZe managed to steal that round away. They lost an Ancient. They got clobbered, in fact, in the map pick. And then they beat ENCE on the 2 best maps. Now, Dust 2, sure, Big love it. But forZe are pretty comfortable on it as well as Tapson. Oh, that's a great flashbang. And Shalfi, he needs to convert, but they will all fall. The CT's littering middle doors as Norway at least brings 1 back. He's done a lot of damage as well, and he's going to reposition himself. I'm not sure if he's been hurt by Tapson. He should be caught out here. There we go. Keto gets the kill. That's the round done. I like the idea from forZe in that pistol round, but
I don't even like basketball, but that's a great movie from my childhood. Gap in the smoke will now be eradicated. Oh, actually, no, it isn't. Jerry can still see that gap in the smoke. Puts some bullets through there and connects a few shots as well. Flash is good, but Kenzie's still alive on the side for a little bit longer. As Jerry connects another Deagle headshot. Searson comes back in. All hell breaks loose on the side, but the HP bar's favoring the CTs right now. Tizian 11 and Gade on 58, still yet to get the bomb plant down. And Zorti comes in with 2 huge scout frags.
That's a massive round to win for forZe. And you got to give a shout out to forZe because they were being very proactive as well. They were going in for the flank, pushing top mid and having Big trapped in a very uncomfortable spot. And Zorte, that means Zorte might reposition himself towards long, but they need to be careful because Sirsen's going to find Kenzie at a bit of a mistake as Jerry hugging the wall, but he will be found as well. And this A-long defense crumbles in the face of the Germans. And Keto already on the hunt.
On the prowl. Has pounced twice to end this round, and not a single player falls on Big.
New Dusty and whatnot, Vince, but apart from the change towards mid, nothing much else has changed, so they don't really have to adapt a lot. Kenzie finds one. Shalfie hasn't been spotted, Vince, as Kenzie finds a second kill with a deagle, and Shalfie, he strikes from the car with a USP.
This just seems like that classic case where Big are almost looking to the next round. It's like, oh, they're on an eco. We can just take our foot off the gas. Let's focus on the next one. It's like, no, guys, you have to focus on this. Because forZe are more than good enough to punish you if you overextend and if you make mistakes. Now, it's still salvageable. Searson could steady the ship away from the rocks.
The health.
Exactly. Both players are so low. The Glock finishes off Jerry, deciding to push in, picks up another Molotov down to CT. And because of the HP, Norvi has to wait this one out. He can't afford to push into that molly, lest they be fragged. Searson just checking the CT side, making sure it's clear. And he's not going to get pincered in. This all comes down to timing. Searson's looking at long, going to get caught, going to get fragged. And Norvi takes that second round and puts it in the pocket of forZe.
That was close. Shalfie getting pressured. He's got a smoke as a bit of a one-way, but an AWP peers out wide. Sirsen will find a kill. Jerry, a lot of work to do. He's going to find one, spins around, and a second as well, but Tizian will finally drop him. Sirsen thinking he would be covered, but he will be found. Nori getting the kill, living Tizian in a 1 versus 3. He's not going to swap over to the M4A1. He's going to stick with the Galil. There is still a player holding the angle, and Zorte will not miss. And that is going to be the cleanest round we've seen thus far from forZe.
Always that B-side anchor player. Flash up and over. Tizian gaining ground. Jerry gets caught, but can't divert the traffic away from Norvi, who's staying in position. Now he springs into action. Jerry pivots in for one. But Gade answers the call with 2 kills of his own, and Searson should be able to plug Kenzie. He decides to push around this angle slowly. That barrel, the gun will betray him. Zorti, though, has made moves in. Guesses incorrectly. Searson does indeed best his opposite man of Kenzie. And now that Zorti's given his position away, it's not long before one of these players behind him will snatch away his life.
But he needs to be wary because it is going to be Sirsen once more holding the cross.
Sharpie's about to get into confrontation with Keto, and he comes out second best. Beaten to the punch from the AK headshot. Although Keto is low, with over a minute left, Big can afford the luxury of taking their time heading towards B, where Norvi is laid in wait, anticipating a flash to come out. Just needs to stay alive behind this box, and things may start to fall into place for him. Oh, that second flash destroys him. He got baited after the first flash went out. Assumed that would be everything that was tossed his way. And with Searson shutting down Kenzie, it's yet another one on the board.
It's incredible how they're able to just bring it back, right? It was a 4 versus 3. And there was a bit of a whiff from Shalfie, I have to say. Like, there was a flashbang.
Maybe he is human after all. He's Cyborg.
What?
These firmware update. Getting pushed down. Tabson's taken 2, but the CTs are just rushing straight through middle. That grenade's going to do damage, but Searson holds his resolve. His nerve is unquestionable.
Isolating the one player who burst on out, and they were just making no secret that they're going to be heading towards short. There's a lot of information being gleaned by the player towards mid. That is, of course, Shalfie. And Zorte, he is lying in wait. He's looking for the jump spot on top of the smoke. All 4 players there. And Zorte, he's not going to miss that one. Finds taps and smokes off the corner of Goose. And is going to try and reposition himself. And this is great work from Zorte.
It really is. He's opened up so much space for his team. Took down 1 frag, making a couple more. especially as Jerry's chipped in earlier. This is so much better on the side of forZe. Just what the doctor ordered, just what their accountant ordered as well, because it gives them... Yeah, the flashes have really been his nemesis over on this B side. Now that he has the Org, though, he can train this in. Gonna peek in. Oh, he's so unlucky. He did damage to Tizian enough to nearly kill him and also attack Keto through him. But it's the AWP that rains out first and can't see the wrong side of the smoke. Watching that plus T-side spawn. There's a lot of utility, though, on forZe's side. Flashes, incendiaries, HEs. It's all about where they put this in. They got a flash to toss to the back of the site. Molly, though, is there to greet them. And now here comes the push, but Jerry's the first one in, the first to fall. This is looking like an impenetrable fortress. And Shalvi goes in with a 5-7, but he'll be the last to fall. 10-5 going through into the second half.
It has either become mostly decided, right? Because obviously the T's, they need to take more time, expend more of their resources, clearing out lower tunnels, and Searson, he had a decision to make their fence, fall back behind a Molotov or face, and he opts to face and gets punished for a Tizian, going for a very brave duel, but Kenzie's going to come out on top, and this is looking very, very good for the forZe side. The bomb's going to be planted for long, and the retake is on. Taps and Keto and Gate just pushing on in, but they are getting met with a hail of bullets.
Oh yeah, that barrage of bullets is weakening Tapson, who's been finished off, and Keto, they know where he is. He's already struck once, he'll strike twice, but that's where he will fall.
Absolutely switched on, and now Zorte's still winning the scout. No need to invest yet, and that's a great flashback. But Jerry, blinded, still finds the kill and taps him with a double. I have no idea how Shalfi didn't trade there. And Sturson has arrived as well to help out his captain. AWP trained at the entrance of double doors. Nade going to be tossed in as well, or was it a smoke? I'm not too sure. As Tapson continuing his reign of terror towards long. I don't even know how. What?
Tapson has no right to get those first two frags. Like, sure, one, but as he said, how is he not being traded out? Shelfie's got to have that frag. Now, Kenzie has found himself the B site, but he's got no bomb. And so Keto with the easiest of kills, Big get their 11th.
The hit coming in, though, and it's going to be Keto and Tapson. Tapson MP9 up close, could be very deadly. And Keto is one going to be making contact, but 3 AKs face him. Are they aware of the second player? No one's going to check him, and it's going to be a free kill for Tapson, just ducking and weaving. A very hard target to find. A missed shot from Zorte. He's doing a fantastic job just delaying the plan, which will finally go down. But now it's a 3v2. Look at how low they are, but Searson with the scout. Don't tell me he's going to find another one. He won't. And Zorte in the 1v3, he knows where the final player is. AK picked up, but he whiffs it. And Tizian with a clutch 13 HP. And Big get to round number 13. For forZe. That's gutting for Zorte. Like, he did everything perfectly, and then in the end, it's not good enough. Zorte though caught out in the corner, able to extinguish the flames, but he won't dodge an nade. Goodbye, Zorte, as Tapson finds him with an HE of his own, and that is going to be another early man advantage being found by Berlin International Gaming. Gate able to dodge the flashbang, and Jerry with the trade though, but he's also been whittled down to 2. Sure, the trades are good, but not good enough.
Up in the windows. This is not looking good on the side of forZe. Makito has been eradicated instantly before Tapson repels Kenzie. Stops that killing streak in its tracks. Jason on the cross, and there's Tapson again.
This could catch him off guard. They're telegraphing this. Smoke splashes coming out. Tapson going to reposition himself, rattling off a number of bullets. None of them finding its mark though, and Norway's going to lead the charge. Flashes are good. They should know there's one towards the car. There's going to be Sturson, and Sturson finds one. Tizian replies with one of his own as well, and one by one they fall. It's on the captain, Jerry, left alone in a 1 versus 4. He's good for 1. He needs to find so many more. Dropping down from behind, he gets another kill. Looking for the third. Gate spotted, but Gate gets the kill, and a few more bullets to ensure Jerry stays down. forZe only on 10. They remain stuck.
Maybe that's going to be the call. Now, this seems like it's going to be more of a B wrap as opposed to anything else. Smoke down can try and trade them away while they push middle at the same time. Norby does get the even trade. Smoke down, but Keto with a double spray. And that should be the moment that gets Big across the finish line.
Kenzie. Oh, so unfortunate that Keto drops back into the site. They haven't been able to retrieve the gun either events from Tapson's corpse. This is too deep inside a CD spawn, so Kenzie and Zorte They have a lot to do. Nice flashbang. Searson all by his lonesome. Of course, he's going to land a shot, and one remains. kenzie left in a very, very unenviable position. He's able to tag on Tizian. Oh, he's being very sneaky here, but they're all coming in. He's running out of bullets as well. And as Galil, the Deagle, comes out. Desperation plays from kenzie. He finds 2. 14 seconds. He needs to retrieve the bomb. But he seems to be so hyper-focused in getting the kills. 8 seconds, kenzie, you gotta get the bomb, buddy. But they know the game is done. They know the map is over. And Tizian, well, he's just gonna toss away his weapons. And that is gonna be it. kenzie getting maybe a little bit lost at the end over there, Vince. But they get it done. We're gonna be seeing Mute coming up.
We'll let him off. He had such a great performance over on Inferno. He's allowed a couple of off moments. But yeah, I mean, listen, big...
Shelfie is going to be making contact. No one really looking his direction. A bit of a slightly off angle. He spots 3 players cross. Doesn't land too much of damage. However, seeing the 3 players cross on over. Zorti is going to be dropping on down. Okay, Zorti, that's the way to start things off. 3 headshots. Kido and Searson reply back by finding kenzie and Norway. But that's the bomb dropped as well. What a round from Zorti already, and it's not done yet.
Unbelievable. With their back against the wall, have to come out swinging. And try and swing for the fences at that. They need headshots. They need them quickly. They've connected onto Zorti. Flash up and over for the peak afterwards. Jerry's already dealt the fatal blow to searson, though. And now Keto goes back in for seconds. And Zorti, he'll have a dose of 4. 4 kills to his name. searson, the man with the AK, is now on top of the silos, and Zorti knows this is a possibility. He already came downstairs trying to deal with this threat, but a smoke has been put down that's going to pretty much bypass the Molotov. Frags back and forth as kenzie deals the fatal blow onto Keto. All hell breaks loose in lobby. That war is still a bit of a stalemate, or of attrition it's turning into. But keep in mind, in all of the frenzy, all the frantic moments, the bomb is ticking away. That fuse is getting closer and closer to detonation. So even though Shalvi's gone in for one of his own, already half of that fuse is gone. Tizian can position.
Yeah, I mean, sure, they do win the round.
Player back at the boxes, going to be called upon to go big, especially as a player now on the elbow with the AWP. Will be finding his way in the hands of Zorti, but he's thought better of this. They bypassed kenzie. He's not even peeked out and took a shot just yet, but now he will, and he's on the receiving end of a battering with a headshot. And although they lined up for Shalfie, he can only get one.
He's big. Okay, Searson catches Zorti's ankle. And Zorti not able to survive. And despite the fact that forZe have been able to save time and time again, it's not good enough. This time around, they won't be able to force out a buy.
Fends Jerry away. He's going to have to wait behind that if he wants to be completely safe, but that's the problem. It's a risk now that you have to take. With so low on the fuse remaining, someone has to make a play. It's a 3v5, but time again is working against forZe. Someone has to push in, and now they pushed in too late. They're hemorrhaging players left and right. The casualties are getting out of control. And forZe, one more time, are too slow on the re-engage. It just feels to me, Blair, if you're going to be that slow, why not just save instead?
And now Jerry, 46 HP. Off the angle, but Searson is so good. Missed shot, both of them. Not quite finding the mark. Jerry's going to be tossing in the smoke, but it's going to be very deep. Tapson's already gone on ahead, and it's going to be Jerry, though, finding the kill, and he is indeed going to be falling on back, looking for more. One bullet from that A1 could take down Gade. Oh, this is a great call from Big. They're going to be going straight up, but Norway is lying in wait, but Searson somehow comes up the ladder and gets the kill. He's looking to swap his AK to the AWP, I guess, but he will indeed stick with the AK-47. He picked up the C4, gets it planted, finds Jerry, now the 1v1. Does he know where Zorti's coming in for? And for Zorti, in a 1v1 on his retake, the AWP, probably not the weapon of choice.
Weapon of choice, but the one that he may feel most comfortable with. searson, 2 flashes. Bit of time now for Zorti to try and finesse his way into this to carve a clutch. But searson, he's completely got the drop. It just seemed like Zorti at no point ever thought that searson could possibly be at the back of the site.
Start claiming a couple of rounds back to back a little bit more convincingly, but whatever they do, Big have an answer. Shelfie's holding the angle, Vince. He's holding the angle, and yet Keto gets the kill. At least a trade will take place. But they're slowly wrapping around, a double man wrap around, and Jerry's not expecting it. Norway, it's all on you. What you got?
huge, as he so often did yesterday. There's one at the cost of a lot of health, though. 14 HP and a second as well, but can't get a third. He's gone above and beyond what anyone could have hoped for. He's given them a chance, and that's all he could give them. Zorti decides better of going in aggressive, and Kenzie will deny the bomb plant. Maybe Norvi's sacrifice will prove to be the determining factor in this round, but CSGO, you cannot count this guy out. Still plenty of time. Can pick up the bomb. Can even dart down to the B site. That's what he wanted to do, but Zorti was up to the task.
First half here in the deciding map of the second semifinals. Winner goes on to meet Fnatic, and Keto just comes charging in, and Jerry is going to be seething after that. At least the trade takes place, and now Kenzie. Here's a jump. He hears a jump. He knows where they are. They're not going to check, are they? They should be checking him. And Tizian finds him. Kenzie. He needs to get more than one kill, or maybe even two, or perhaps a third. But in fact, he finds none. And with that, man advantage has been claimed by Big, and Zorte has everything to do.
Has to nail multiple players. Misses his shot. Isn't fully punished. Oh no, forZe are coming apart.
Oh.
At the seams, nobody seemingly can get their hands on this round, on any frag.
Make his escape, which he indeed will. That op could come in handy, but right now, Vince, it's not about saving your weapons. It's not about trying to maintain your economy. It's about winning a few goddamn rounds.
You know, this is one of their first rodeos as this lineup. Couple players very new to this level of Counter-Strike, but Jerry, one of the veterans, the grizzled, experienced players, is shining bright. Drops the bomb, drops multiple adversaries for a 3K, trying desperately to rally the troops. Keto's going to try and silence him down, has a Molotov, wrong place, and he will fall by the wayside. Jerry on a 4K, had to step up huge just to get them around.
From Jerry to get that flank, but usually Big would have someone just still holding the angle towards radio. A little bit of a mistake, and they get punished for it. I don't think they're going to make the mistake twice. Another basket coming in towards out towards the upper bomb side, and look at his hit. Norway, though, fantastic job from him to find two. Gets traded, but Shelfie walking in through the smoke, the savior of the round for forZe, leaving Sirson once more in a familiar position. AWP, right eye peek, but it is going to be Sirson. It's going to pluck Zorti's head clean off his shoulders. The 1 versus 2 right now. He has an inkling where Shelfie is, but it's a crossfire being set up, and the bomb is dropped out in the open.
Plenty of time allocated to Sirson. No need to rush. The only reason he might think he needs to is because that smoke has an expiry date. Flicks across the Kenzie. Not sure as to where Shelfie is. Now he realizes, but Shelfie's too quick on the trigger. Such a nice effort from Sirson.
It's Jerry. This is a good adaptation by... Oh, Jerry. Oh, Jerry. Okay, then. Finds the kill on the Tizian, and there's no one to trade. That's a nice little shock and awe from Jerry, catching the player and just getting the hell out of dodge. And now Big forced to rethink what they want to do. Kenzie's position, they're punishing Big here for what they usually get up to and where they've been getting away with. I mean, they've been getting away with murder time and time again from these outside walk-in takes towards Mini. But finally, forZe able to adapt. However, it might be a little too late here. Tapson gets the kill, but he will be traded, and Jerry is going to be the one to be getting all the frags.
Yeah, and this is the problem. Like, it shouldn't be down to Jerry to drop a 15 kill half.
Felt like it came down to the individual heroics, right? Sure, the final couple of rounds were pretty solid, but Jerry with the CZ, for example, getting the 2K and a 4K in the end. But here comes the fast hit towards upper Tizian. He goes cartwheeling straight out of the server, but Keto and Sirson striking from above. But Jerry and Shelfie will reply. Gate still on the side, hiding around the smoke. A 2v2. Make that a 1 versus 2 as Shelfie's going to be left alone, finding taps and bomb dropped. And it's a duel. It's a battle to the death between Shelfie, the new player on the side of forZe, against the veteran in the form of Gade.
The veteran is trying his best to snap a couple of headshots through, but there's Shelfie! Youth before experience will prevail. I think he just blew a kiss to the camera as well. He's loving it. As are forZe, 8-8.
The youngster pumped up, ready, blowing kisses. Sure is looking to take a few players down as well. Tapson, oh my lord! That's the bomb as well. This is not looking good at all, unless Jerry can do something, but Keto able to find a kill onto the IGL of forZe. Now the 1 versus 4, it's all gone wrong. And Shelfie again having to clutch this one out, unfortunately for him.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, all kicked off because of Tabson's double deagle work down on the vents.
But they still need to go up against Keto. Hasn't been challenged yet. He's going to pop his head and pop Sorte's head with a Galil of his, looking for more, still sticking around. Not a huge fan of this. He's got a crossbar set up with in the form of Tabson, and Tabson ensures that Shalfie doesn't drop down below him and get the kill. So man advantage established by Big, but as I say that, Jerry decapitates Tabson, and now the 2v3.
There's some questionable re-peaks, but you can't fault the aim of forZe. They have been on point. Kenzie now has to go in with his AK. And 51 hit points. Bomb dropped. Awkward position. Has to traverse in towards the ramp via trophy, and Keto will lift his trophy high above his head, and it'll be double digits.
They always make me giggle a bit, some of the copy bastards. But right now, there's nothing to giggle about for the side of forZe, as Tapson lines them up with the A1 and Sturson to finish off the job. One of the quickest rounds we've had thus far. It is going to be an upper bomb side hit. And again, it's going to be the veterans of Gade and Tizian to hold the line.
Oh, Biggie doing such a good job, though, of managing the utility placement, forcing forZe away to the arms of Keto. His spray on point, but he runs out of ammunition. He has, however, picked up 3, and that should be enough to yield the round. He's also made some noise downstairs. Fast rotation comes into play on the side of Big. Zorti will see the first point of call against Tizian. Flashbang affords him safe passage to at least peek down connector. There's 2 players here, and Tizian will not need any backup. His M4 will do the talking for him. They know it. They can feel the pressure. Good secondary flash actually allows the AWP of Keto to move up a little bit closer. Dual AWPs in play. Shalfie comes straight through.
No.
Spray transfer is beautiful and yields 2 frags. But elsewhere, Big are getting the damage done, and Searson's holding it down outside. forZe still in a really awkward position.
But if he fall, he could fall for this, because Tapson could be looking his direction as well. Tapson, no. Oh, he spots him. He spots him. Shalfie, oh, the timing. It's so very rough for him. He had it, Vince. But that AWP, the barrel, it was only a bait.
Should be an incredible storyline if that were to happen, because obviously would like to give a special shout out to Keto's performance, though, a guy that goes under the radar a lot. We've been waxing lyrical about how good Searson's been, and Tabson's had some great moments. Keto's been a man mountain on this map so far. He has been fantastic, but it is the other AWP in the hands of Searson that strikes first. And forZe already pushed on the back foot. He's connecting another shot through the red containers. Zorti's knocked down to 51, and Tabson's gone in for more.
One by one, the dominoes fall for forZe. Oh, Zorte is burning alive as well, down to 20 HP, but he will avoid death for the time being. Searson being very, very brave. Spots.
Oh. Can he take the shot? I spotted him, and there's the flick. Searson finishes off the frag, just slightly missing out on the low and lowly Zorti, who does return fire, but now it's the last man until that grenade touches down onto his head. 7 match points.
It feels like Big have just been completely unleashed, and I hate to be the one to say I told you so, but their CD side has been something which has been very, very solid in the past few, maybe not the past couple of games, but it looked very good from what I've seen, just based off an eye test, and you can see why it's great. They haven't dropped a single round thus far, if I'm not mistaken, apart from like maybe 1 or 2. So I have to say, I fear I can almost hear the bells tolling for forZe.
Oh, time marching on, as is Searson with that AWP. Zorti and Shalfie have both been put down. Jerry now has to go. Simply nuclear if forZe will live another round. It's not looking good, and although he comes out with 1, that is Big securing their spot in the grand finals, where they will face Fnatic in a best of 5.
Oh, I'm sure everyone is looking forward to that particular matchup. Sure, we didn't get to see ends.